One Piece Manga Chapter 1118, titled Being Free. In this chapter, we continue to see the reactions from people all over the world. We will also see Luffy and his crew prepare to set sail and leave Egghead Island. And lastly, we will see the most overpowered devil fruit in action that has caused a huge divide between the One Piece fandom. Stay right till the end of the video, as all of that is revealed. The cover page of the chapter is the 8th volume of the limited cover story, Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage. Yamato finally leaves the flower capital while eating a bento. The people behind her are cheering and giving Yamato a hearty farewell. The chapter begins where we left off in chapter 1117. The ancient iron robot is falling straight onto the battleships after Warcury's attack in the previous chapter. The lowly Marines are in a state of panic. The terrified Marines begin to run for their lives. One of them orders everyone to jump overboard. Another wonders if the iron robot is a metal creature. As the iron robot is about to fall on them, the Marines scream. They believe that the iron robot is gonna sink their ship. In the next moment, the ancient robot falls down into the ocean. The fleet of battleships get destroyed as the iron robot makes contact with the ocean. As the ancient robot descends underwater, the Din Din Mushi suddenly lets out some noises. Vegapunk's audio transmission briefly resumes. He says, "And their name was," but the broadcast abruptly ends again. As the iron robot continues to descend into the depths of the ocean, he begins thinking about Joy Boy. The iron robot asks himself where Joy Boy went. He desperately wanted their paths to cross. The iron robot was certain that Joy Boy was actually here on Egghead Island. He thinks it's strange that they haven't met each other. The scene shifts to the coast of Egghead Island. Warcury is in his giant boar form looming over the shore of the island. The Marines are stunned at the sight of a ferocious Warcury. They ask what is the creature standing in front of them. One of them wonders if it's a giant boar or a mammoth. With all these questions from the Marines, it's clear that the Marines do not really know the true nature of the Gorosei. The other Marines are wondering what the deal is with this crazy island. The scene shifts to the reactions of some people around the world. As the transmission signal dies off, endless questions pop into everyone's heads. An ordinary citizen wonders if something went wrong. Another is angry that Vegapunk was cut off mid-sentence. Some of them ponder over what could have caused the broadcast termination. One of them recalls that the broadcast only started playing after Vegapunk's death. It was mentioned by Vegapunk himself at the start of the broadcast. He wonders what could have killed a genius scientist like him in the first place. The scene shifts to Alabasta. Koza and Tato remain silent as they watch the interrupted video broadcast. At the same time, some of the citizens of Alabasta are talking amongst each other. One of them is having a hard time believing that someone had Vegapunk killed. The man he's talking to thinks it's because Vegapunk committed grave sins. But the Alabasta resident is convinced that the government wouldn't just erase the genius scientist. Another native mentions what was happening before all the shocking events and revelations. He reminds everyone that Straw Hat Luffy was holding Vegapunk hostage. With that being said, they agree that this is the work of those pirates and that they are the ones to blame. The scene shifts to Whiskey Peak. Mr. Nine is holding his baby with Miss Monday as they stand surprised about the broadcast's sudden interruption. One Whiskey Peak citizen yells his thoughts out loud. He says that the world government would never kill off the world's greatest mind, even if he did break a few laws. The scene briefly shifts to Dressrosa. Leo concludes that it really was Luffy Land. However, Rebecca simply dismisses his assumption. If you've been my Nakama for a while, I would like to share with you that I just opened up a Patreon page. If you'd like to support the channel more, I'd be grateful if you would consider subscribing to one of the tiers on the Patreon page. You will get access to the latest chapters one day earlier, and also watch the video chapter in full color as soon as it releases. My goal is to always try to improve the experience of reading the manga and make it come alive. Click here to learn more about the tiers, or go to our channel page and click on the Patreon link. Thank you. The scene shifts to Punk Records. York suddenly receives a transmission via Din Din Mushi. It is one of the Gorosei. The Gorosei asks York how many of the Vegapunks have survived. York quickly checks and tells the Gorosei that other than her, there are only 2 left. The both of them are Lilith and Atlas. York informs the Gorosei that Lilith is still up on the stratum and Atlas is down at the northeast coast. Now I wonder, why did York not mention Edison? He is one of the satellites, and as we have seen, Edison is still very much alive. Let me know in the comments down below on why that is. The scene shifts to the Gorosei. St. Mars, St. Saturn, and St. Topman Warcury are together as they discuss whether they shall eliminate Lilith and Atlas. The Gorosei immediately agree to proceed to the extermination. Now Lilith and Atlas have long served their purpose, they are just loose ends. St. Mars says that the Punk Records is programmed to function and grow even after Stella's termination. He believes they can benefit from it through York. The scene shifts back to the northeast coast of Egghead Island. The giant warrior pirate ship finally sets sail as it bulldozes the marine battleships near the vessel. Luffy, Dory, and Broggy reach the shore. In unison, they excitedly tell everyone that they are hopping onto the pirate ship. In the next moment, the three jump at the vessels below. The giants celebrate the return of their captain. They are happy that Dory, Broggy, and Luffy safely made it out to the giant warrior pirate ship. Meanwhile, Bonnie feels ecstatic after seeing Luffy again. Luffy is excited to board a giant's ship. He can't help but point out how huge the vessel is. As Luffy finally reunites with Bonnie, Sanji, Frankie, and the giants, he wonders where Usopp is. Especially since this is Usopp's master's ship, Luffy also asks if Chopper is here as well. The scene shifts to the torn down marine battleship. The Marines are becoming desperate as they feel the urgent need to chase Luffy and the others down. A lowly Marine says there's no way they can let him escape when they have this many battleships. The other complains about the giants being too tough and asks if Vice Admirals Doll and Bluegrass are okay. Off-screen, the two Vice Admirals and the Sea Beast weapon have been turned into little kids by Bonnie's ability. As Doll curses Bonnie, the frustrated Bluegrass voices how frustrating it is to be rendered helpless like their current state. Bluegrass thinks Bonnie's ability is incredible. The scene shifts back to the giant warrior pirate ship. Bonnie watches the Marines from the pirate ship's deck. As she watches the Marines, she is smiling at the thought that the Marines are going to be in big trouble for letting her get away. As we have seen in chapter 1106, thanks to Vegapunk's betrayal, Bonnie became the highest command in the hierarchy to control the pacifistas. In chapter 1108, the Vice Admirals made the elimination of Bonnie as their #1 priority to regain control of the pacifista. And in chapter 1113, Nozdro tells Bonnie that the world government will not surrender their military might to her. And just as he was about to deliver a blow on her, Sanji rescues her. So yeah, I would be smiling like Bonnie knowing that the Marines are going to be in a world of trouble for letting her escape. Luffy greets Oimo and Kashi. Oimo chuckles and tells Kashi that he looks pretty beaten up. Despite that, Kashi is happy to see Luffy once again. Sanji contacts Nami via Din Mushi. He informs her that they have successfully set off. Sanji then asks Nami how things are over on her end. Nami tells Sanji that they'll be right behind them. The scene shifts to the Thousand Sunny. As they prepare to leave, Nami tells Sanji that they'll be able to launch into the ocean thanks to Edison. However, they may need Luffy and the others to help them land safely. Without an ounce of hesitation, Sanji immediately assures Nami. He exclaims that Nami, Robin, and Lilith are his top priority. Sanji tells Nami that even if she sinks, nothing could stop him from rescuing her and the rest of the ladies. Usopp is unhappy and angry. He instantly protests and asks Sanji why he won't save everyone instead. Usopp reminds Sanji to stop forgetting the rest of them. Meanwhile, Frankie tells everyone he'll make sure that the ship isn't damaged. Back at the coast of Egghead Island, the pirates notice something coming from above the island. In the next moment, Mars flies to the giant warrior pirate ship. The camera zooms into his face. Mars is definitely raring to turn all of them into cinders. Sanji can't hide his displeasure at the Gorosei's appearance. He complains that another Gorosei is coming after them again. Meanwhile, Bonnie's no longer smiling as she is shocked and speechless. The scene briefly shifts to the kitchen inside the giant warrior pirate ship. The cook is happy to have finally met Luffy. The cook mentions Broggy and Dory warning him about Luffy's appetite, which is why he had a bunch of food ready for him. The cook is surprised at the speed Luffy is eating his food. He reveals he wasn't planning on serving them all in one go. Luffy apologizes. He says he's got to fill up his belly for now. Luffy also advises the chef to cook some more for later as he prepares for another clash with the Marines. The cook is somewhat taken aback by it, but he simply comments about Luffy's high eating capacity. Little does he know that this is how Luffy gets his energy and strength back. The scene shifts to the deck of the giant warrior pirate ship. The giants defend the ship as Mars suddenly shoots a ray of fire from his mouth. One giant complains about the extreme heat of Mars's attack. The other pirate orders everyone to defend the little people as he fends off the ray with his shield. But despite their valiant efforts, the deck of the giant warrior pirate ship catches fire. A giant screams in pain while his companion yells to Jorn and Sig to determine if they are still hanging in there. A giant pirate urges everyone to put out the flames. He reminds them that they can't let the sails catch fire. The scene briefly shifts to the Marines' reaction. They are completely puzzled and have no idea what in the world is going on. While the lowly Marine fails to even complete his sentence, his companion yells everyone's question. He asks if the Gorosei flying above them is a bird monster. The scene shifts back to the giant warrior pirate ship. A giant lies on his back after getting caught in the flames by Mars's attack. He emphasizes how intense the heat is. Sanji says he owes them one and thanks the giants for having their backs and helping them. At the same time, Bonnie urges Atlas to move Vegapunk and her father Kuma somewhere safe. She's worried that they'll burn if they stay at the deck. Atlas volunteers to carry the two. Meanwhile, Dory and Broggy are annoyed at the Gorosei who continuously pursue them. Broggy thinks there's no ignoring those monsters now. Dory agrees. He says that if the Gorosei can fly, then they can chase them to the ends of the world. As Mars prepares for another attack, he reminds the pirates that not a single one of them will be permitted to escape. The next moment, Frankie senses something out of the ordinary. Suddenly, the waves dance harsher as the tremor vibrates on the sea floor. Everyone is shocked by what is happening. One of the Marines screams in terror and yells that another earthquake has occurred. At the same time, Luffy finally finishes his meal. He says his belly is full and it's time to go into battle again. The scene shifts to the Marines' reaction. They cannot believe that what they have just heard from Vegapunk might be true. The Marines then ask if the sea levels are still rising. One further emphasizes how dire the circumstances are. The scene briefly shifts to Mars's reaction. With the drums of liberation playing, Mars is speechless. The scene shifts to Luffy. He is back in his Gear 5 form. He happily calls Bonnie. She is surprised by Luffy's form and addresses him as Nika. Once again, Luffy tells her he still has no idea who she's talking about. Meanwhile, Dory and Broggy are dancing. Dory compares the drums of liberation to something similar to a festive beat. Broggy happily tells him they can't both dance around. After all, there are fires to be put out. Luffy urges Bonnie to join him. He asks if she really wants to blow the Gorosei out of the water. Bonnie says she couldn't keep up with Luffy in his current form. However, Luffy assures Bonnie that she can do it. Luffy says he doesn't know how her powers work, but he is still sure Bonnie's got this. As Bonnie stares at Luffy, she remembers when she first met Luffy on Egghead Island. Luffy told her that she looks like Nika when she's totally free. Bonnie then uses Distorted Future. As she uses her ability, she recalls the flashback she saw from Kuma's memory. She remembers Kuma promising Jenny that he'll definitely raise Bonnie well. In the next moment, Bonnie uses Toshi Toshi no Mi to give her a future where she's totally free. In an epic double spread, Bonnie transforms into her giant Nika form. From white clouds floating around her neck, to her white and curly hair to her white clothes. Her transformation is exactly the same as Luffy's. This makes me quite emotional. Kuma promised Bonnie that Nika will come and free her, and now she finally becomes free. Luffy is beside her, laughing hysterically. He acknowledges Bonnie's spirit for ultimately pulling this off. Bonnie is so happy and tells Luffy she did it. One of the giants exclaims that there are two Nikas. As the pirates celebrate, the Marines become more confused. They wonder what exactly those two are. One Marine also wants to know if Luffy and Bonnie have really become albino giants. The scene shifts to the sky of Egghead Island. Mars remains silent as he sees what has unfolded. Luffy is raring to go again. Luffy says, "Let's do this," to Bonnie. Bonnie then smiles and affirms what Luffy said. The scene shifts somewhere at Egghead Island, where Warcury and Jupiter currently are. The Gorosei suddenly sense something amiss, so they hurry toward the coast of Egghead Island. Meanwhile, under the island where the ancient robot has been forcibly submerged, the iron robot once again activates. It senses Joy Boy's presence, and this is where the chapter ends. What do you think of Bonnie being Joy Girl? Are you happy about it? Oda-sensei has certainly divided fans with this chapter. I'd love to hear which side you are on. I'd love to hear from you, so comment below and let me know what you think. As always, press like if you enjoyed the video, and if you don't want to miss out on future One Piece chapters like this one, definitely subscribe and hit that bell icon. There will be no break next week, so I'll catch you in the next video. Till then, thank you for watching the video, and have a great day.